Welcome to Zoe Stories. My roommate's dare made me the hottest girl. I never thought a simple bet could turn my world upside down. My name's Alex, and I'm a 19-year-old college sophomore, just your average guy. I'm not the life of the party like my roommate, Kelly, but I get by. I keep my head down, focus on my classes, and avoid drawing attention to myself. That's why, when Kelly and our friends decided to have a game night in our apartment, I wasn't too worried. It was all harmless fun, until I lost a bet. "You have to let me give you a full makeover," Kelly announced, her eyes gleaming with mischief. "Makeup, dress, wig, the works. And we're going to party." I laughed, thinking she was joking. Yeah, no thanks. But Kelly wasn't backing down. "You lost fair and square. A deal's a deal." I rolled my eyes. "Can't I just do something else? Like buy pizza for everyone?" She smirked. "Nope. You're going to be the hottest girl on campus for one night." The room erupted in laughter, but my stomach twisted. It was just a game, just a dare. But something about it felt different. What was I so afraid of? I could refuse. I could say no. But then again, maybe, just maybe, I didn't want to. I stared at Kelly, hoping she'd crack a grin and say she was just messing with me. But she didn't. She folded her arms, one brow arched, waiting. The room buzzed with energy, laughter, teasing, anticipation. Everyone was watching me, waiting for my reaction. My instinct was to say no. Absolutely not. No way in hell was I letting Kelly turn me into a girl. But then a small, unsettling thought crept in. Why was I hesitating? Sure, it was embarrassing. The idea of stepping into a dress, having my face painted with makeup, and walking into a party like that, it made my stomach twist. What if people laughed at me? What if they never looked at me the same way again? But at the same time, wasn't there something kind of thrilling about it? I hated to admit it, but a part of me was curious. What would I look like? Would I actually pass? And if I did, what would it feel like to be seen, really seen, without the weight of being Alex the quiet guy holding me back? I shook my head, trying to push the thought away. "I don't know about this, Kel," I muttered, rubbing the back of my neck. "What if people won't care," she interrupted, reading my mind. "They'll just see a hot girl. You trust me, right?" I swallowed hard. Did I? Kelly was confident, fearless. She never let what others thought stop her. I envied that about her. The room was still waiting for my answer. I could back out, laugh it off, tell them it was too much. But then again, maybe this was my chance. To be someone else. To step outside the box I'd been trapped in for so long. I took a deep breath. "Fine," I said, forcing a smirk. "Let's do it." The cheers that erupted should have made me feel victorious. Instead, my heart pounded like I'd just made the biggest mistake of my life. The moment I said yes, I felt the weight of my decision settle over me like a heavy blanket. Kelly was already grinning like she'd won the lottery. "Oh, this is going to be so good," she said, grabbing my hand and dragging me toward her room. The others cheered behind us, their laughter ringing in my ears. As soon as the door shut, the excitement dimmed, replaced by a nervous energy twisting in my gut. "Okay, sit," Kelly ordered, pushing me onto her vanity stool. I hesitated. "Are we really doing this?" She rolled her eyes. "No backing out now, dude." She grabbed a bottle of foundation and tilted her head. "Unless you're scared?" I scoffed. "I'm not scared." That was a lie. I was terrified. What was I doing? Letting Kelly turn me into a girl, no, into a hot girl, was insane. What if someone recognized me? What if I looked ridiculous? What if I didn't hate it? I pushed the thought away, but it lingered, an itch in the back of my mind. As Kelly worked, I watched my reflection shift. The foundation blurred the sharp angles of my face. A contour stick reshaped my jaw, softening it. When she dusted a shimmering pink blush over my cheeks, I barely recognized myself. "You're weirdly good at this," I muttered. She smirked. "My older sister's a makeup artist. I learned a thing or two." My chest tightened. What if this goes horribly wrong? "It won't," she said confidently, sweeping mascara onto my lashes. "And even if it did, it's just one night." One night. Except it didn't feel like just one night. A part of me was starting to wonder if I wanted more than that. But before I could dwell on it, Kelly spun me around and held up a long, wavy brunette wig. Time for the finishing touch. The moment she placed it on my head, something shifted. The guy in the mirror, Alex, was gone. In his place was someone else entirely. Someone softer, prettier, someone who looked like they belonged. My throat went dry. Holy, told you, Kelly grinned. You're stunning. A knock on the door startled us. You guys almost done? One of our friends called. I swallowed hard, my pulse racing. I was about to walk out there like this. Was I really ready for that? Kelly placed a reassuring hand on my shoulder. Deep breath. You've got this. But as I stared at the girl in the mirror, I wasn't sure who I was anymore. I gripped the edges of the vanity, my knuckles turning white. The girl in the mirror stared back at me. Soft, delicate, unrecognizable. This wasn't just makeup and a wig. This was me, transformed into someone I never imagined I could be. A nervous flutter stirred in my chest. Could I really walk out there like this? What if they laughed? What if someone saw through it? But what if they didn't? What if, for the first time in my life, I got to be someone who turned heads, who made people stop and stare in admiration instead of indifference? Kelly rested a hand on my shoulder, her voice softer now. Alex, she said, meeting my eyes in the mirror. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. That was the out I had been waiting for. A chance to shake my head, rip off the wig, and pretend none of this had ever happened. But something in me resisted. I didn't want to back out. I wanted to see this through. To step outside this room, outside myself, and experience something different. I took a slow, steady breath. Let's do this, I said, my voice steadier than I expected. Kelly beamed. Hell yeah. As she pulled me toward the door, my pulse thundered in my ears. There was no turning back now. The door creaked open, and the second I stepped into the hallway, the noise in the apartment died down. All eyes were on me. My heart pounded so hard I swore they could hear it. I took a hesitant step forward, my borrowed heels clicking against the hardwood. The sensation was both thrilling and terrifying, each step forcing me to balance, to move with a grace I hadn't practiced. Someone let out a low whistle. Damn. Holy Alex. I forced myself to lift my chin. The room was filled with my friends, people I saw every day, but right now, they were looking at me like I was someone else entirely. Kelly nudged me forward, whispering, "Own it." So I did. I straightened my back, shifted my weight to one hip, and let out a slow breath. A small smirk curled at my lips, something I never would have dared to do as myself. But as her, the girl standing in my place, it felt right. The reactions hit me like waves. Some people gawked, their jaws hanging open. Others grinned, clearly impressed. A few whispered to each other, their eyes darting from my legs to my face, as if they couldn't believe the transformation. Then came the real test. One of the guys, Jason, the loudest of the group, leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. Dude, there's no way that's Alex. My stomach clenched. But before I could react, Kelly looped her arm through mine and tilted her head playfully. Well, she sure isn't Alex tonight. The group erupted into laughter, cheers, and playful banter. And just like that, the tension shattered. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. No one was mocking me. No one was pointing and laughing. They were accepting it. Accepting me. Something inside me shifted. At first, I thought this was just a dare, a one-time thing. But now, standing here, feeling the weight of their admiration, the flicker of something more deep in my chest, I wasn't so sure anymore. For the first time, I wasn't invisible. I wasn't just the quiet guy in the background. I was seen. And, God help me, I loved it. Kelly squeezed my hand, her smile knowing. Told you, she whispered. I smiled back, but inside, a question buzzed in my mind. Was this just for tonight? Or was this the start of something bigger? The music pulsed through my veins as I stepped into the party, the bass thumping in time with my racing heart. The moment I entered, heads turned. Some in recognition, some in outright confusion. Jason, still skeptical, narrowed his eyes. Nah, there's no way. That's not Alex. I smirked, confidence swelling in my chest. You sure about that? My voice was softer, smoother than usual, just enough to sell the illusion. His jaw dropped. Holy shit. Laughter and applause erupted around me, and suddenly, I wasn't just some guy in a dress. I was her, the girl who had everyone's attention, the girl who made people stare in awe. But then, as the adrenaline faded, a new emotion crept in. What happened after tonight? I wasn't just playing dress up anymore. This felt real. Too real. The way people looked at me, the way I moved, the way it felt to be admired, it wasn't something I could brush off as a joke. I caught my reflection in the darkened window. The person staring back wasn't the Alex I had always known.
Was it?
Kelly's hand found mine. You okay? I swallowed hard. I don't know. Her gaze softened. This doesn't have to be just a dare, you know. I exhaled sharply, my pulse roaring in my ears. I had spent my life trying to fit into a mold, trying to be someone, anyone, but now I was standing at a crossroads. If I stepped back, I could laugh it off, go back to being Alex, the guy who blended in. But if I stepped forward, I wasn't sure where that path would lead. Jason nudged me with his beer.
Well?
You sticking around, or are you too chicken? The old me would have backed down. But the girl in the mirror? She lifted her chin, smirked, and grabbed the beer from Jason's hand. The night blurred into a whirlwind of laughter, dancing, and stolen glances in mirrors that no longer felt like strangers. Every step, every flick of my hair, every confident smirk felt less like an act and more like a revelation. By the time I made it back to my apartment, heels in hand, makeup smudged, I wasn't the same person who had started the stare. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at my reflection. The wig, the dress, the painted lips. None of it should have mattered. But it did. Because underneath it all, I recognized myself in a way I never had before. Kelly leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, a knowing smile on her lips. So, just a one-time thing? I opened my mouth to say yes, to laugh it off, to pretend this was just a wild night. But I couldn't. Not after how it felt to be seen, to be alive. I ran a hand through my hair, my pulse steady now, calmer. I don't think so. She grinned. I had a feeling. For the first time, I wasn't afraid of what came next. Maybe this was just the beginning. Thank you for joining us on another captivating journey through Zoe's stories. Remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a tale. Until next time, keep exploring, keep imagining, and keep believing in the magic of storytelling. See you in the next chapter.